This is the story of an event so unique and peculiar that history itself puts it in a category of its own. Stop scrolling, because you don't want to miss this. Did you know that Australia once declared war on a group of birds? Yes, you heard that right. A war. Not against a rival country or entity, but against a flock of emus, the large, flightless birds native to Australia. And who came out victorious in this unexpected battle? Well, let's dive right into this bizarre piece of history, the Great Emu War of 1932. After World War I ended, Australia was left with thousands of returning soldiers. Many of these soldiers were promised a piece of land to farm as part of their reparation efforts to adjust to civilian life. These lands were predominantly in Western Australia, vast pieces of earth waiting to be tilled into prosperous farmland. However, the economy was struggling. Then the Great Depression struck, adding insult to injury, making life for these soldier settlers anything but easy. But things, as it turned out, were only going to get worse. Little did they know, an avian adversary was quietly observing them from the bushes. Enter the emus. Emus, standing nearly 2 meters tall and equipped with beady, suspicion-filled eyes and powerful legs, are birds that demand respect. Just imagine a prehistoric predator, but smaller and with a slightly friendlier face. In late 1932, a terrifying influx of about 20,000 emus began to migrate through Western Australia in search of water and food. Guess where they decided to raid? That's right, the soldiers' farms. The birds trampled crops, destroyed valuable fencing, and wreaked havoc on the already struggling farmlands. The farmers were desperate. Guns and scare tactics weren't enough to manage the onslaught. These emus were proving to be a tough challenge. So, the farmers turned to none other than the Australian government and demanded help. And here's where things went from troubling to outright surreal. The government decided to deploy a military force to tackle the problem. Sounds ridiculous already, right? Well, hold on, there's more. The operation was greenlit by Sir George Pearce, the then Minister of Defence. An army command team was set up, equipped with Lewis guns, which were .303 caliber semi-automatic machine guns. The mission: eradicate the emus. A press eager for oddities dubbed it the Great Emu War. And boy, it was a name that stuck. In November 1932, the operation began. Major G.P.W. Meredith of the 7th Heavy Battery of the Royal Australian Artillery was placed in command. They spotted an initial group of about 50 emus and decided it was the perfect moment to strike. The first engagement was chaotic at best. The emus, masters of nature's guerrilla warfare, scattered into smaller groups and sprinted in random directions. These cunning birds outran the soldiers' firepower. Their size, speed, and ability to zigzag made them incredibly effective dodgeball champions, evading most of the bullets. After this initial failure, the soldiers regrouped and modified their strategy. They attempted to ambush large herds near waterholes, but their victory rate was laughable at best. It was more like an elaborate chase scene from a comedy show. At one point, they even tried mounting a machine gun onto a truck to increase mobility and firepower. But alas, this too failed. The emus proved exceptionally faster than the truck on rocky, uneven terrain. During a single week, about 2,500 rounds of ammunition were fired. And guess how many emus they actually managed to kill? A meager 50. To make matters worse, news of the botched operation leaked to the public. Newspapers had a field day tearing down the government's attempt to handle an emu invasion. They mocked the leadership, leaving it red-faced and embarrassed. Journalists couldn't resist, cracking jokes like, "If we can't handle emus, imagine us in a real war." And therein lies the irony. The soldiers had gone to battle against an animal that technically couldn't fight back, but still ended up losing. Shortly thereafter, Major Meredith ended the operation and declared it an undeniable failure. Despite their firepower and tactics, the humans had lost to the emus. Oh, but it doesn't end there. Within a year, the emu population grew even larger, continuing to pester the poor farmers. Eventually, the Australian government found less bizarre methods to deal with the issue, like offering bounties to hunters. This strategy was far more effective and eventually helped stabilize the farms. Meanwhile, the emus, they went on to live their best lives, becoming somewhat of a national celebrity in their own mysterious bird-like way. As for Major Meredith, he reportedly took his defeat in good humor, cryptically commenting that the emus have been adjudged to have won fair and square. In later histories and documentations, people began celebrating the emus' symbolic victory as an example of nature's resilience against humankind's intervention. And while it started as a serious governmental operation, the Great Emu War is now regarded as one of history's quirkiest pranks by Mother Nature. So, next time you find yourself face to face with an emu, remember to salute their victory. Who could have guessed that our feathered friends are not only fast, but perhaps even smarter than us under certain circumstances? The Great Emu War serves as an amusing reminder that not all problems can be solved by brute force. Human ingenuity is incredible, yes, but every so often, it seems nature likes to give us a little reality check. And if you think this is wild, could you imagine how future generations will reflect on humanity's attempts to control the natural world? Maybe they'll laugh about our failed attempts to tame something as simple as pandas or deer. History teaches us lessons, but it sure does have an odd way of entertaining us along the way. If you love this, stay tuned for more historical hidden gems.